আমরা kita namadyo di taman ko na. আচ্ছা ইনশাআল্লাহ ভাবি
dari aro isa kita ada kali sini orang baik mau naik bangun naik kali boy Yeah.
Might be the time for it.
Orang foto dulu sih kayaknya. Behind the bike. So artinya marah-marah gitu. Siapa tahu community.
It's all good. Very fun. Very worldwide boats.
So guys, our tour will take 45 minutes. We'll see the 8th college, very famous here. I will talk a bit about them, the founders, the students, the myths, the pranks that the students did as well. So, for those who don't know, Cambridge have a total of 31 colleges, 8 located here on the river. So the 8 here on the river are the most well-known or famous, but you'll be graduating from the name of the University of Cambridge. So in the end, it doesn't really matter which college you study. In the end, all will be graduating upon the name of the Cambridge University. So the first college built here in Cambridge was Peterhouse in 1200, 100 years ago, basically. And since then, we got college being built until the latest 1900s. So after the Second World War, we got one of the last colleges being built.
Beautiful weather for poetry.
So guys, on the right side, entering St. John's College, built in 1511 by a very powerful woman, Lady Margaret Beaufort. So she died before the conclusion of the college, therefore John Fisher became in charge here at the conclusion of the college, and he managed to do it very well. John Fisher, to mention, was a very Catholic person. So the first building over here on my right hand, Chris Hall, a student accommodation, quite modern, totally different from all the other buildings on the river. So normally the students love this type of students accommodation, more modern, good Wi-Fi inside. But on the other hand, very close to Chris Hall, we got our famous Newport. So this lovely building over here, covered on this Boston High Vis, is called the Newport. The Newport is another student accommodation. Looks like a castle. So the students here of St. John's literally live in a castle. So the Newport was built in 1831 by two architects, Thomas and Henry. The same year that the bridge was built.
The same year the bridge?
Yeah, that one. So it starts around 1825 and around 1831. So this bridge here is called the Kitchen Bridge, and it has this name because it connects the kitchen on the left to the Newport on the right. It's actually the oldest bridge here on the river and was built in 1711. So, a bit more relaxed, of course. But back in the days, used to have a huge rivalry between colleges, not only in sports, and everything basically. That's what it did. So Trinity was built, as I mentioned, by Henry VIII in 1546. Henry VIII donated a lot of money and land to Trinity, so it's actually the most wealthiest college as well. With a network of around 2 billions, quite a lot. I can do that in 3-4 months. So the Red Library here is very interesting because everything that have value, every book, every picture, every painting, is on the 2nd floor because the floods hit the building and they decided to put everything on the 2nd floor. So the bottom of the building is currently empty. And a very smart student, which his name is Isaac Newton, uses the bottom floor of the library to measure the first time the speed of the sound. Happened right here on the left side of us. You know, actually, at this time is probably one of the best times to do the tour. It's so quiet, so quiet. The river normally is packed. A few hours ago it was completely packed. I was trying to dodging the Sapphire, dodging every boat that was on the river, but now it's very, very nice. So guys, I had a first Trinity Bridge. It was built in the latest 700s. Beautiful bridge here on the river. And then so this building over there, can everyone see that very tall building over there? Maybe, yes. Yes, so that is the official library of Cambridge. It's huge. Huge. You can easily get lost inside. Probably one of the most outstanding libraries that I've been. So on the left side we got the fun station of Trinity. So at the beginning, this one station, so you can see over there, behind that tree over there, sir, a very tall building. It's like an hotel, but it's not. It's our Cambridge official library. So this pump station, guys, back in 1825, used to be a brew house. So they tried to purify the water on the river, but they couldn't do it. So they end up creating a weak ale with a small percentage of alcohol. Even though with a small percentage of alcohol, they still give it to the students. So basically 3 years for the students. We also got the head of us Garrett Foster Bridge, one of the most also famous bridge, a public one here on the river, and in a tribute after one of the oldest hostels that Cambridge had, Garrett Foster. And now we are also entering the college from the 1300s. So on the left side, Trinity Hall was created as a direct result of the Black Death in 1350 by a bishop, Bishop Bateman. There's a street here in Cambridge with his name. So this college right here is where the professor Stephen Hawking studied and teach. So he did his postgraduate in Oxford, his undergraduate in Oxford, his postgraduate here in Cambridge, and he became a fellow, a teacher, a professor here. So now we are entering the oldest college here on the river, which is Clare's. Clare's was founded by the most powerful woman back in the 1300s, Lady Elizabeth de Clare. So she found Clare's in 1338. Like Clare's back in the days with Stephen Hawking. Very interesting. Here on the public court, Alan Turing. He did that movie, The Enigma Code. He basically deciphered the Enigma Code in the Second World War. It was very, very famous. We also got Shujimo, a very famous poet from Asia. He was like our version of Shakespeare. He studied here in King's. He wrote his most famous poem, Farewell Cambridge, on top of the King's Bridge. And that is one of the reasons that Cambridge is very well known in Asia, because of that poem and that poet as well. So next to a king, we have a queen. On the river is the same. So now we are entering the land of the Queen's College. Queen's College was founded at the beginning by Andrew Doctor, but he was in a desperate need of money. So he asked help for the royal family. At the time, the wife of Henry VI, Lady Margaret of Anjou, was one of the founders here. 12 years later, Elizabeth would go to the Water Virgins. So we got here the Erasmus building, a student accommodation. So you might heard of Erasmus of Rotterdam. He studied here in Queens. The Queens decided to tribute with his name. He was the first person to translate the Bible from Latin to Greek. A lot of people don't know this.
Yeah. You were right.
Now as well, guys, here's where the colleges do their open days. So you guys can see this is all students. So they're doing their open days to know the colleges, maybe in the future get in. They do this in the period of beginning of June, ending of June until end of August, beginning of September. Because when the students come back, they can headmaster and his family. And connecting these buildings, we got our lovely mathematical bridge. Mathematical bridge. A lot of people think that Isaac Newton built it because he wrote the principles of mathematics, but that's a myth. So this one is the third replica. The other two were destroyed on the English Civil War. We you guys can actually see now our baby swan. It's still baby though. Yeah, huge, but it's still a baby. So guys, on the left side, Essex building, office building of Queens, 5 floors. We are also approaching this bit of the river, which is called the Mill Pond or Green Laundry. People back in the days used to wash their clothes over there on the grass because the water is shallow. It's about 10 to 20 centimeters deep. So guys, the last college of this bit of the river over there, we got Darwin on the white balcony. Darwin was built after the Second World War, very recent. It's the only college on the river and the second college in Cambridge who accept only postgraduates. So only masters and PhD are accepted here in Darwin.
এখন যদি আমার ক্যামেরা পড়ে যায় তো সব শেষ নাকি এরকম যদি ক্যামেরা পড়ে যায় তো সব শেষ
So guys, that pub over there called the Anchor, they are also very famous here in Cambridge, not for their lagers, but for Pink Floyd. So you might have heard of Pink Floyd, everyone, probably. So they are from Cambridge, for those who don't know, and they did their first performance over there in the Anchor. Back in the days, it used to be a jazz club or something like that. Yes, and they did their first performance here. You might be able to see some, probably you might be able to see the Sherwood Library where students are study and everything. So he lives in that one.
Are they open now?
Yes, it's the tunnel. Sorry?
Yeah.
Who lives in that one now, the one he went past?
Yeah, it's the headmaster, the Queens, and so headmaster.
So they still live there.
Yeah. The headmaster and the family of Queens. Not only the headmaster, also the family they provide as well.
Which one do you study?
Sorry?
Which one do you study?
So I'm not studying any of the college. I'm not that smart though. So Cambridge have 2 universities. Cambridge
Anglia
University.
Okay.
I'm studying biomedical over there.
Very nice.
Maybe a master's. No.
He's really good.
Do they ever have bells? Do they ever have bells on the chapel?
Bells?
Yeah. Like the bells, you know, like the ringing the bells.
I think they do have, yeah, I think they have.
Ah, okay. Yeah. Can you hear them ever?
Well, I think it's, I don't know if it's an hour, I don't know, but there's something like an hour in a day that you get that from.
Okay.
But it's not like an hourly stuff.
Ah,
It's
okay.
not every 5, 6, 7. It's only a few times actually that you can hear the bells.
Okay.
So guys, there's a famous prank that happened here on Claire's. So you guys can see on top of the Claire's bridge, they had some stones.